Hey, it is currently 1:30 p.m. We are going to start a countdown for 24 hours because in today's video I'm going to be reading for 24 hours straight. I'm not pausing any timers or anything. It's literally going to be from 1:30 p.m. today on the Friday to 1:30 p.m. on the Saturday. Now, why 1:30 p.m. you ask? Because I slept in this morning. I slept in by accident. I wanted to get up nice and early-ish and try and start the challenge like pretty early so that I could finish with enough time tomorrow that I could have a little bit of a sleep before I have a movie marathon with my patrons. So even though the timer is for 24 hours and I'm going to be like reading and doing all of my like bookish work and stuff, I will most likely end up being awake for more like 31 hours. But yes, the clock is running and I'm very excited to do a 24 hours straight reading vlog. There have been other people who have done this on BookTube. I will link some of my favourites down below. But all I have done myself is doing the 24 hour... haven't I? I think I've done the 24 hour timer one, right? Where you like you pause it and you just like say how much you can realistically read in 24 hours. I have done that before, haven't I? Damn, I actually can't remember. Yeah, so in today's video, I'm going to be doing like a horror edition of it because, you know, this is my final vlog in my Vlogs of Halloween event for 2024. And I'm very excited to like just binge horror today and just like read things that I want to read. There are two books that I desperately need to read. One of them is Shirley Jackson's The Haunted of Hill House. I have a live show for this on Sunday with Lexi from Alexandra Roseland. And we're doing this with our patrons and we're doing like a Gothic Tales and Cocktails night. And so I actually need to start and finish this, hopefully today. And then I also want to read The Beetle by Richard Marsh. This is a Gothic classic. In this video was supposed to be me reading all Gothic classics, including a reread of one of my favourites. But I thought a 24-hour read as much horror as I can video would be better. And I want to read this because I'm going to Egypt soon, and this is a Gothic classic which has elements from ancient Egypt in it. So yeah, those are my top two. I'm not really sure what else I kind of want to read. So that's why I'm going to let the ghosties pick my TBR. I'm going to see if the ghosties can come up with any words that I could potentially use for either a prompt or maybe it is in the title of the book. The GhostTube app I used during my paranormal investigations, and I say that lightly because I'm not professional or anything, and it's an app where it does use the magnetometer, and when something interferes with the magnetometer, a word comes through that is associated with what a ghost is probably wanting to tell you. Obviously, like, entertainment purposes. Oh my god, I literally just opened it up and said none. I do want to say as well, I opened this app up last week and I did it on sprints downstairs and it actually got quite a few responses. I actually think I'm haunted. I do actually think there's a ghost called Roy here who is married, but he's having an affair with someone called Harry. And then when I asked what he wants, he said me. Like, he actually said my name.
Oh, beer. What would you like a beer? Oh, I think we've got a straight man here. I think we've got a straight heterosexual in our midst. Demanding a beer before we even know that. Roy! Roy, we've got a Roy! I told you it was a straight man.
You're listening. They need.
Oh. You're listening. They need me. They need me. Sit with me. Sit with me.
Positively.
They are hitting on me. They are hitting on me. They do. What do you want? Okay, like, we will end it after they tell me what they want. Do you want the good pussy? Harry or Roy, are you having an affair?
Gavin. Power.
It just said my name.
Well, let's see if anything comes through on GhostTube. We had none come up pretty quickly, and I could have read And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie, but I've already read that one, so... And I don't think I have another horror book that has the title with none in it, I don't think. Well, I'm just going to write these...
Disrespectful.
Disrespectful. Oh my god. Look, I'm not going to get into it today. I'm not arguing. So we've got none, and I'm just writing these down on a piece of paper so I remember. Disrespectful. Can you give me another word? Can you give me a... Leave here. Oh my. I don't want that word.
I'm hoping.
You're hoping I leave here? Look, I'm not arguing. This isn't one of these videos where I argue with a ghost. I'm not doing it. Give me a proper word. Give me a word that I can use, please. I beg. I just want to build my TBR and instead I'm getting abuse again. Say beetle. Or say haunting. Or say hill. Or say house. Or say the... Say any of those and then that could be the first book that I start. Just check my... Recorder. Ooh. Give me another word. I don't think I have anything with recorder. Oh, maybe there's like a found footage kind of book, you know. I think there's one where they go into the catacombs of Paris. I don't own it, but maybe it'll get on Kindle. Come on, I've got a 24-hour timer on my hands now. Let's hurry this along.
Are you from here?
Look, I'm not here for questions.
Ground. Incorrect.
Oh, okay. Are you from here? Ground. Incorrect. Okay. Maybe I could find something with the word ground in it. Are you from here? Maybe I could use a book as well that has a question. Maybe there is a horror with a question in the title. Like it is a question. Oh, that's a good idea. Okay, give me one more word. One more word and I'll leave you alone. Say beetle. Say beetle. Say horn. Oh, you want to? We'll go on then. I have the Haar. Can you say the Haar? I've got butter. But I think that's more like a thriller, isn't it? Smooth like butter.
Hole.
Hole. Is that all I am to you? Hole. You know what? I can work with that. I can work with that. Right, I don't think any of these words like really helps me with my current TBR that I really want to read. So let me get started with The Haunting of Hill House. Is what I'm dying to read first. And then, yeah, I'm going to check in through the day. All 24 hours of it. And if you end up enjoying the video, please do give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I made myself a coffee ready to read The Haunting of Hill House. And I will say, like, I have, well, one, actually, I put on my Instagram stories asking for your suggestions on those words and prompts from the GhostTube app. And I can't wait to see what people come up with, honestly, because I'm drawing a blank at the minute. But I am about to start The Haunting of Hill House now. And I'm going to try and read to my usual speed, which can be quite fast. But I'm not exactly burned out from reading. It's just I have read a lot of physical books over the last like month and a half, 2 months, in order to like get as much read and as much filmed and as much edited before I go away. And that includes like 51 Fear Street books, which I recently finished. And so I'm not burned out. Like I still really want to read, like I can't wait to read, but I just don't think I'm going to be as fast as I usually am today. Kind of want to take my time now to kind of recharge my batteries. So yeah, I don't know how much I'll actually get read during the full 24 hours, but hopefully it'll be a good amount. Two and a half hours in, and I am 93 pages into The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. So I have watched the TV show on Netflix, but I know it's so different. And even so, I've pretty much forgotten most of the TV show because it has been about, what, like 6 years since it came out, and I watched it when it came out. So I can't really remember too much apart from like little things, but I already know it's so different, so it doesn't even matter anymore. But I'm really loving this so far. I am loving the characters. And I didn't realize a book from this time period could have characters with such personality. Like, it's personality that I find relatable. And like, say Eleanor, she is kind of the main character. There are some other characters like Theodora, Luke, Dr. Montague, but we got to see Eleanor's journey to the Hill House, and I loved the stuff that she came out with. She's quite cynical in a way. Like, she's very hardened from life, and there's going to be no spoilers in this video, by the way, just like little plot bits here and there, I think, but I'm not going to reveal any like twists and turns or anything like that. But I love Eleanor's personality from the beginning. Like, she seems very hardened from life, and there was a moment as she was driving to Hill House and she stops off at this restaurant place or like a cafe, and there is a mother trying to get her daughter to drink milk, and the mother is saying, oh, it's because she won't drink it because she has like a cup of stars or something at home. And then Eleanor's like looking at the young girl and she's thinking, don't do it, don't drink it, stand your ground, because this is what could happen to you if you let people walk all over you. It was just so funny to me. When we first got introduced to her, she just like hates everyone essentially. Even her 5-year-old niece. I'm like, what did that 5-year-old niece ever do to you? And I don't know, like, I just found that quite funny. And it's kind of a funny juxtaposition when she meets Theodora at Hill House for the first time. And Lexi texted me a couple of days ago, actually, about, like, potentially some kind of subtext there between Theodora and Eleanor, and I can definitely see it, and I'm really shipping it. I'm not gonna lie, like, I can really feel it through the page. Their tension, almost, like, they have such great banter, but there's also moments when it's like a little bit more, what's the word, homoerotic, I get? No, not even that, I don't think. But like, Theodora will catch Eleanor's hand and be like, fellow babe in the woods, let's go exploring. And Eleanor thinks she is lovely. Eleanor Thornton into, look, I wish I were lovely. You bring more light into this room than the window. Like, that's kind of flirtatious, if you ask me. If somebody turned around and said, I bring more light in the room than the window, I'd be like, well, I'd probably drop my pants and just like hide myself on top of them. But, you know, we have some class and decorum when it comes to the characters in The Haunting of Hill House. And the way that Eleanor was, like, frightened before anyone came to the house, because Eleanor was the first person there, and Theodora was like, you're frightened. It was just when I thought I was all alone, Eleanor said, I'm here now, Theodora said, so it's alright. And Theodora even calls Eleanor, like, poor baby. And I'm just like, stop, like, this is too much. I'm gonna explode. So I'm really liking that. And I love the kind of introduction to Hill House as well. The doctor calls Hill House disturbed. Like, he says, I wouldn't call it haunted, I'd call it disturbed. And the doctor is a man of science, so it'll be very interesting to see, like, what actually happens in Hill House, because I have no idea. Genuinely no idea the stuff that's going to go on. I haven't read any spoilers or anything for the actual book itself. Obviously, I watched the TV show, but as I said, that's totally different to the book. So I have no idea. I have no idea what the character's going to do or what's going to happen. But I love that we have, like, this man of science who may try and explain things that are going on, and just the ominous nature of it as well. The last person who tried to leave Hill House in darkness, it was 18 years ago, I grant you, was killed at the turn in the driveway. And we get, like, a bit of history with Hill House as well, and just things about it as well, like the locals won't talk to you about it. If you come into the village, then you don't say anything, honestly, because, you know, you will be judged. There's just this air of mystery that really does have me intrigued. And Mrs. Dudley, who is like a housekeeper, she's a little bit creepy in what she says. She's like, I leave before dark comes. We couldn't even hear you in the night. No one could. No one lives any nearer than the town. No one else will come any nearer than that. In the night, Mrs. Dudley said and smiled outright in the dark. She's just creepy. She's just creepy. The face of Hill House seemed awake. Like, the lush descriptions of it as well. She thought that her deep unwillingness to touch Hill House for the first time came directly from the vivid feeling that it was waiting for her, evil but patient. Like, Shirley Jackson's doing such a great job at setting the scene with Hill House, introducing Hill House, and making it incredibly atmospheric and so gorgeous, honestly. Like, it does sound creepy and evil and all of that kind of stuff. Like, I think even at one point Eleanor calls it vile, and I can feel it. I can definitely feel it, but you know what? I'm so intrigued. Like, I want to go there myself. I want to get myself in there, get bullied by the ghosts, and leave. That's what I want to do. 3 chapters, and that's 92 pages. That is bloody long. And I love how the 3rd chapter finished. It just felt like a little bit ominous as well. You know, you have people from different parts of the country. One of them, Mrs. Dudley, thinks of Hill House and shut her eyes quickly. The doctor's wife, Eleanor's sister, far away in the trees over Hill House, an owl cried out, and toward morning a thin, fine rain began, misty and dull. It just feels like life is going on around the house in a way, and like things are just about to start. Like, things are just beginning. And I don't know why, but like that kind of pathetic fallacy with the rain and the mist and just what it's making me feel, it's just so great. This is why I love reading like gothic literature and like some of the older stuff and like the classics. I just get that sense. I get that feeling. And The Haunting of Hill House is delivering on that front right now. The sky is already starting to get quite dark, and I'm only like 2 hours into the challenge. I'm gonna have to start turning the lights on already. Like, this is the devil's work. Very atmospheric, but I really wanted daylight for a little bit longer. I was gonna wait until a little bit later before I went to the shop, but I might as well do it now, since it does look like it might rain. And I wanted like little bits and bobs for today. You know, like a little bit of a pack to keep me awake for 24 hours, you know? Lots of energy drinks, lots of snacks. It is 6:30 and it is 5 hours into this challenge and I still haven't finished my first book. I'm so confused, like why have I not done yet? It's not even that long a book, it's only like 246 pages. I'm 179 pages in and I'm still like really enjoying it. I have found myself a little distracted. I did go to the shop. I have been missing Ash and Tobu. I will say, I've been missing them so much. If you don't know, when I went camping, my mum took Ash and Tobu because she's looking after them. And she was like, well, why don't I just keep them? Because in a couple of weeks, you'll be going to Australia and Egypt and she's going to look after them anyway. And so to save Ash and Tobu from having to be like bounced back and forth between like my house and her house, because it's about like a 30-minute drive. When she took them for my camping trip, we just said, just keep them at my mum's. I did go and see them a couple of days ago and that was like amazing.
Oh, I missed you. Oh, I missed you. You did. Oh, I missed you so much. I miss you. I miss you so easily, man. I missed you. Oh, Tobu. Hi, Tobu. Oh, Tobu, I missed you. I missed you. I missed you. I love you. I love you and I've missed you.
I miss them so much and like this house is just so lonely and empty and quiet without them, even though they distract me a lot. So I probably do get more work done when they're not here. I would prefer to get less work done and just have them with me. All the oxygen just like left this house that moment they left the house. Ugh. I miss them. I miss them, man. You start thinking about them. But anyway, I can't really concentrate anymore as well on reading because now I'm very, very hungry. And I was going to order in because I thought, you know what, it's a special occasion. Let's, special occasion. I say everything's a special occasion and then I order in. Like, oh, today I'm having a day off, let's order in. Today I'm gonna read like 15 books, let's order in. You know what I mean? Like, every day is a special occasion. But I'm actually being really, really good with ordering in money and stuff because money's a little tight at the minute. Dealing with my own issues with all the flights and stuff that I'm supposed to be taking. I'll talk about that in a Slice of Life vlog coming up. But yeah, anyway, I thought I would just have something from the freezer. And I have 2 pizzas that I do already have and I really, really fancy pizza. So I have thin crust chip shop chicken curry pizza and a thin crust hot dog pizza. I've tried this before and I really like it, but I haven't tried this before, so I don't know if I will like it. But I am really fancying this, so I will have the chip shop chicken curry pizza tonight. Yeah, I suddenly got hungry and then all of a sudden I couldn't concentrate on my book. Let's bang this in and try and finish Horn of Hill House because 5 hours and not a single book finished yet. For me, I'm a little underwhelmed. So while I wait for my oven to heat up, I'm still really enjoying Horn of Hill House. It's been a lot more slow going now, but the things that have been happening that are creepy are like very subtly creepy. And then something happened only a few pages ago and I'm like, damn, that is like actually like genuinely like really terrifying if you think about it. It's to do with a hand. Like, I don't want to like give away any of the like scary moments of this, especially if you haven't read it yet. But if you've read this and you know about like the hand moment, then I think you might know what I mean. But I'm very excited to talk about this actually in a couple of nights because I feel like there's so many great things to discuss, especially in terms of themes. And also like the way that the characters are acting now, it feels like maybe there is some kind of childlike stuff going on. So I wonder if there might be a kind of theme of like childhood and children and what that means to like a house. And I love when we explore the house too. The house just seems so weird, like the angles of it are quite off, and the idea that it kind of feels like you're coming off a ship, you're losing your balance, your sense of balance could be distorted, that it would take you a while to lose your sea legs or your Hill House legs. I know this is so aptly apt. Yeah, stuff to do with the nursery, like little stories about like past owners and like you can't have a house for 80 years and like not have death in it essentially. It's just like so fascinating. And at the minute all I can think of is Scary Movie 2. Was there a Haunted of Hill House movie that came out ages ago and Scary Movie 2 parodied it? Because I feel like it, you know, it's that initial premise of a scientist getting a few people to the house in order to kind of observe it and get like some experiments or like readings on it. So it kind of feels a little bit like Scary Movie 2. I might have a Red Bull as well, actually. I don't often drink Red Bull, but I do quite like the coconut and berry one. I think it's pretty awesome. And I definitely wouldn't usually have one at this time of night, but because I'm staying up for another like 19 hours, I think it is. Bottoms up. 8 p.m. and I managed to finish the Horn of Hill House. Definitely Took longer than I anticipated, but I did end up enjoying this. I gave it 4 stars. I wasn't really expecting that ending, or like how abrupt it kind of was. And I honestly don't know what I was expecting from the story, honestly. It definitely didn't go the way that I imagined it to. I'm gonna have to think about this one for a little bit. I need to know people's opinions on it. I feel like I need some kind of like analysis video on this as well, because there are some things that are left quite open-ended. A lot of things that was said that I feel like had double meanings, and the vagueness of some of it too. I feel like I need to study this. I need to know what was going on. I don't know. But I still continue to like the atmosphere. In character actions and character motivations kind of got a little bit fuzzy by the end too. A little surprising as well. Like I don't know if I fully understood this, but I definitely enjoyed it. So 4 stars it is. I was anticipating a 5-star, but I don't think it quite got there. In terms of plot, and when I look back at this, I feel like not a great amount of stuff actually happened. I feel like with any story, if I'm going to give it a higher rating, I think I needed a little bit more substance when it comes to the plot. But I did like the vagueness. I did. I love the writing style. It was just what I needed. It's been a while since I read a good classic. So I definitely enjoyed that. I definitely need to read more by Shirley Jackson. I think We Used to Live Here, or We Have Always Lived in the Castle. That's another book by Shirley Jackson I really want to read. And I've heard great things about that one. So now that I finished this one, I definitely think I could get into reading that one at some point. Probably not tonight, but I definitely want to read it at some point. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. So I did get quite a lot of really great responses for the Instagram story I put out, as for suggestions that the ghosties gave me for my TBR. And a few people said follow me to ground, including 2 of my booktube besties, Jan and Aaron. So I could do that one. Oh, we have another Shirley Jackson there. Another Follow Me to Ground. Jessica Rose reads Follow Me to Ground. It was weird and I gave it 2 stars, but you might like it. I mean, I do like weird. I've read The Eyes of the Best Part. Oh, We Used to Live Here. I feel like that one's been mentioned a few times. Just because I did like have a quick little scroll earlier. Well, I have the T. Kingfisher books, so I could do those ones. Red Horror Store. We've Always Lived in the Castle. Just mentioned it. I don't know if I fancy another Shirley Jackson tonight. My Best Friend's Exorcism I already read. Guillotine. Hollow Places. Say I do have Hollow Places. In Hollow Places again. Okay, I could grab Hollow Places from upstairs and read it. Because I do need to read that. Oh, another Follow Me to Ground. House of Good Bones. I'm just looking at ones that I feel like I might, just like based off title alone, things that I've kind of had my eye on. The Only Good Indians, September House. And honestly, thank you so much everyone who has sent any kind of recommendation. We Used to Live Here. I am very tempted by We Used to Live Here because that's been mentioned quite a few times on BookTube recently. A lot of people have been liking it a lot. Follow Me to Ground again. Hollow Places. Oh, do I have Hex by Thomas Old Huveld? Maybe I do. I'll have a look upstairs. I might have Hex. Hacienda. September House. Only Good Indians. Hex. Slewfoot. Been interested in that. The Whistling, I do have. I started it like 2 years ago and never finished it. That could be a good one too. Hollow Places. Always Lived in the Castle. More We Used to Live Here. We Used to Live Here. We Used to Live Here. I think I have Kill Creek upstairs. We Used to Live Here. Graveyard Shift. Oh my god, I'd love to read Graveyard Shift. I loved ML Rio's If We Were Villains. I read that years ago. And Graveyard Shift is quite small. I could read a small book as well, couldn't I? I don't have Graveyard Shift. I've seen it's on Kindle. Just like We Used to Live Here, I will check to see if that's on Kindle. As well as Follow Me to Ground. You are kidding me. £7.99 for the Kindle. It's more than the actual physical copy. I never want to pay more than the physical copy if it's a Kindle book. Like, why would I pay that? It's the ebook. It should be like half the price, in my humble opinion. An ebook should be half the price. That is $4.63 for the hardcover. We Used to Live Here. I do have 5 Audible credits. I could use a credit for We Used to Live Here and listen to an audiobook tonight just to break up the physical reading, you know what I mean? And yeah, I'll go upstairs and get the other books, but I could totally do with a nap. So I have all my books here because I'm about to do a book haul, but I was going to like film the video tonight, but I don't think I will because I seem to be running out of time. But I'm wondering which one to read. The Hollow Places was the one that was recommended the most, right? I've already forgotten on the Instagram story. I'll take all three downstairs, I'll read the summaries, and I will see which one I think I want to read more. I don't think these are like sequels. I don't think it's a series, so I think I can read any of them in any order. So I will read the summaries. I'll see which one I prefer the most, because I think all three of them were mentioned at some point in the Instagram story. So I think all three of them will work for something. I've forgotten what I came in here for. What did I come in here for? There was another book that I owned, right, that was mentioned, and I was like, oh, I have that. What was it again? I'm gonna have to go on my phone and look. Okay, I thought I owned Hex. I don't. It's Echo by this author. So Hex was mentioned. I don't own it. I own Echo. So I'll put that back. But these were all the books that were mentioned in the Instagram story that I own. So I own these physically. So I do have the Haar, the Whistling, Kill Creek, Annihilation, the Hollow Places, the Twisted Ones, and A House with Good Bones. So I'll take all of these downstairs. There's plenty of time to pick something. I mean, I have had my eye on the Haar because so many people I love on BookTube gave it 5 stars or gave it a really high rating. Should I make a coffee? I might make a no. I've just had a Red Bull. Okay, after read all the summaries, I think I picked a winner. Yep, it's the Haar. Just that cover itself is just so... Ugh, it makes me feel a little bit sick, I'm not gonna lie. This one follows Muriel, and she lives in a Scottish fishing village of Witchhaven. Then a property developer threatens to evict all the residents, and then a fog comes in. And I believe they call the fog the Haar. To some it brings redemption, to others it brings only madness and death. What macabre secrets lie within the Haar? The repetition of the Haar in the summary reminds me of, you know, those really old school horror movie trailers. I remember, I think it was The Hills Have Eyes, and there was a trailer for like was it like from the 70s or the 80s when it came out? And the trailer for it is like, the hills have eyes, the hills have eyes. And it just like says the hills have eyes like 25 million times in that trailer. That's what this kind of reminds me of. So I'm very intrigued. Not that this reminds me of The Hills Have Eyes, like the actual film or anything, just the trailer with a repetition of the title on the back. It's 11:40 p.m. and we have been doing this challenge for 10 hours and 10 minutes so far. So only 10 hours into the 24-hour challenge, we've got 14 to go. We've got this. So I decided to set up some cozy midnight Patreon sprints. So they're happening in 20 minutes. And I felt like it was just like a good way of breaking up the night. I was a little bit wary of doing some reading sprints, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit scarred after I did some sprints with Jade a few weeks ago and I accidentally let something slip.
Oh, I love him so much. Yeah, I had that. I had to do a couple more R.L. Stein clips during that as well, so I quickly refilmed. But I finished the intro, so that's good.
Perfect.
I'm assuming you meant to mute to burp, but instead you turned your camera off.
Yes.
Brilliant. Liddy, you're doing amazingly. Well done.
Yes. Pardon me. Did you get lots read in that sprint, Jade?
I am on page 112, so I read 60 pages.
Sorry. I just make myself laugh.
Have I missed something, or are you still laughing at your burp?
Still laughing at the burp. Oh, is that Jake I hear? Oh, yeah, is that Jake behind you?
He's curled up. He's just said that he now wants pizza as well.
Oh, well, hot damn.
He's not feeling very well.
Mm.
He was sick last weekend, like violently vomiting sick for the first time in 20 years.
Oh, lovely. Oh, bless him.
And he's just not quite been right since. And this weekend, he's just been really dead. What is happening?
It's fine.
Am I missing something?
No. I'm the kind of person who like laughs for like 20 years after something happens. But yeah, poor Jake.
Good intentions, wrong button.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank goodness I didn't have to see that. Oh, brilliant.
And so I don't trust myself on sprints. However, I am 104 pages into the Haar, and this is not what I was expecting, because just judging from the back of this book, I thought there would be some kind of like Stephen King The Mist element, but it's really, really not. It really doesn't have anything to do with the Haar, like this creature thing here. And it's a creature that Muriel, our main character, has like saved. And it's so bizarre, like it's so gory. And I wasn't expecting it to be that way. Like, this starts off like kind of a little bit wholesome-ish. Like, I love the setting so much. We have Muriel. She lives in this like very, very small village that, you know, this rich billionaire person is trying to like buy the land and like trying to buy people out of their homes. And Muriel and like some of her friends are like trying so hard to like stop that from happening, but there's like so much corruption and stuff. And it's just so heartwarming because Muriel is 84 years old, and Muriel's so funny. Like, she has this really cracking personality where she like takes shit from no one. Like, she has lived her life, and I feel quite sad for her, but I'm rooting for her so much. And yeah, with this mysterious creature thing, which she has called Avalon, I'm just very invested. I'm so invested. Like, the whole story with Muriel and her and this village is so like true. Like, there are so many places where, you know, you have people trying to buy people out of their homes that they've lived in for years, maybe lived in their entire lives, really like sentimental places that, you know, corporations or really greedy billionaires just don't care for. They just want the land for whatever they want. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Cusco, The Emperor's New Groove, wanting to buy, oh my god, it's been so long since I watched it, but oh, what's his name? Like, the guy who lives in the village with his family. It kind of reminds me a little bit of that. Pacha. Yeah, Pacha. So I feel like it's kind of a little bit Emperor's New Groove where it comes to Muriel's story with the village, but make it horror. So yeah, I only have 70 pages left. So I will be doing sprints only for a few hours, probably until like 3 o'clock in the morning maybe. And that should like keep me awake. As you can see as well, I put on my hoodie. This is the first time I put on my hoodie this year so far. It has been freezing, but tonight and the previous few nights haven't been as cold as some nights from before. It's so comfortable. This is my one-piece hoodie that I got from Primark. You know, I should be wearing scary Halloween-esque clothes for this video since I'm, you know, doing a 24 hours of reading horror books. But instead I'm wearing freaking Tigger jumpers and now a one-piece hoodie. What part of this is scary? Ooh, 12 minutes. Okay, I've got 12 minutes before sprints. I might make myself a midnight coffee. Oh my god, I love midnight coffee so much. I don't have them like ever because I do try and sleep at a reasonable time, but because I'm forcing myself awake, I gotta have a cozy hot midnight coffee. I am currently doing a very last minute 24-hour staying up the entire time challenge. I've been up for 10 hours and 32 minutes, so I have just under 14 hours to go. 14 hours isn't too bad, and I still feel pretty wide awake. But I was thinking if I'm going to start feeling a little bit like tired and stuff, then it's probably best I do this midnight fresh, because I want to do it for a few hours, and then when the sun comes up, I want to see the sunrise. I haven't seen the sunrise in such a long time. I am today reading the Haar. I'm 104 pages in. I have 70 pages left. So I am sure I will finish this during sprints. So if anyone wants to say hello in the comments, that would be amazing. Hey, hello everyone. Yay. Okay, they're all coming through. Oh, you guys are the best. Happy midnight sprints, everyone. And it's going to be such a blast. I hope you enjoy the vlog. I'm just so blessed to have you all here with me tonight to dwell in my madness, my midnight madness. Okay, you guys are amazing. I'm going to stop recording in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, I'll do that. Yay. I do apologize for the noise. I've just put some Swedish meatballs into the air fryer as my 2:06 a.m. snack. And we have officially crossed the 12-hour mark, so we are just over halfway through staying up for 24 hours straight reading horror. I have just finished the Haar, and I'm still on sprints. I'm just currently doing my second sprint. I might do one more after this and take these sprints to around about 4 o'clock in the morning. I was only going to be live for like 2 to 3 hours, but I might as well do one more. I don't know what I'm actually going to read next though, because I do want to start my audiobook of We Used to Live Here, but I don't have the physical book to read, and I don't just want to like sit there on the sprints and like not read something physically, so I'll figure it out. But I really enjoyed this. I got so emotional by the end. Like, oh, Muriel, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, there were so many things about it that just like really touched my heart. Just like the theme of like family and spending time with family and not waiting until it's too late to be with family and stuff like that. It just felt like such a great kind of message. Obviously juxtapose that with how absolutely gnarly this book is and some of the really horrific things that happen in it as well. Like, oh my gosh. But some of it was quite satisfying as well, which is probably saying a lot about me myself. Some of it was kind of satisfying. Like, I love seeing bad people get what they deserve. But yeah, it was so good. 4.5 stars, I think. I don't think it's quite a 5-star for me personally. But I'm 100% going to check out more from this author, David Sodergren. And if you have any more recommendations from this author, please let me know. Because there is a list of books in here too. I just don't know which one to read next. Like, which one should I read? Oh yeah, one of the reasons why I'm not giving it like a full 5-star is I do think sometimes the dialogue doesn't come across as quite believable. Like, especially like the bad people. I don't fully 100% believe some of the things that they come out with. But then again, there is this like monster thing as well. And obviously that isn't real. Or is it? Because there are so many things in this universe that we don't know about. And usually around this time, I do end up starting to feel like I'm having an existential crisis. I do go down a rabbit hole on YouTube, watching videos that make me feel insignificant, because I realize how large the universe is and stuff like that. Some parts of this did make me feel a little bit like that, because what is this thing? Does this thing exist? Maybe it could. Maybe there is something in the depths of the ocean that we haven't discovered yet. And that terrifies me. That does terrify me. So I'm gonna enjoy my Swedish meatballs. Also, I'm having the Red Bull cactus fruit. Okay, I thought it was citrus fruit. It's cactus fruit. And it's not bad. Not that it's really that needed right now, because I don't feel tired. My mouth feels tired. Oh, I need to turn. Oh, sorry, I need to shake my meatballs. There. My balls have been shaken. What was I even saying again? Oh yeah, my mouth feels tired, my tongue feels tired. I had crisps / potato chips yesterday, and it just feels like they cut my tongue. My tongue feels sensitive. So with all this talking that I'm doing, kind of hurts. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of hurts. 4:26 a.m. and my reading sprints lasted 4 hours, not 2 to 3 hours, which I said. What can I say? I love to under-promise and over-deliver. I have started We Used to Live Here by Marcus Kliewer, and I am 18% in because I also have it on Kindle, so I've been reading and listening to it. But now that it's 4:30 a.m, I just want to like sit back, relax, listen to the audiobook and pamper myself a little bit, because I feel like this is going to be like so easy to just like listen to and not have to immerse read like I usually do. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying doing both, but I just kind of want to like rest my eyes for a little bit, hopefully not fall asleep. But I'm really liking this so far. So far we follow Eve, and she has just moved into this house with her girlfriend. And at the very beginning of this book, this random family knocks on the door, and the father of this family is like, hey, I used to live here, this was my childhood home, is it okay if I give my family a tour of this? Or like, he has his wife, I think it's 3 kids that, all together they have. The young girl, oh my god, so annoying. She is so annoying. But yeah, Eve lets them in. Like, that's terrifying. But I'm not gonna lie, I feel like maybe I would have done the same. Just because I am a little bit of a people pleaser. And, if you have a family knock on your door and, the kid looks disappointed that they're not gonna get a tour of the house, I feel like I probably would have done the same thing. I know he shouldn't, but I can't blame Eve too much for letting them in. Even though I was like begging her not to, because that is a little bit sketchy. Especially with it being like dark, and it's starting to snow, and it's dark, and it's starting to snow. Like, it's the worst timing. So yeah, like, come back another time. But no, they are in the house. and I'm just so intrigued. Like, my intrigue is very, very high right now. I'm reading the chapters and I'm like, oh, what's going to happen? Like, I genuinely don't know what's actually going to happen with this family in the house. Do they awaken something evil? Are the family evil? Are the family a whole bunch of serial killers? Are they cannibals? Are they ghosts? Anything could happen. Anything could happen. So I want to charge my phone while I'm lying up here. Oh, you might be wondering, what is this banana doing in the bedroom? Or wouldn't you like to know? Well, I don't have cucumber for my eyes, so I thought the next best thing that I have is a banana. So I'm just gonna like do some banana slices, put them on my eyes, and put my foot peel on. I need to put my foot peel on. My patrons told me not really to do this because I am going away in 4 days. Apparently my feet will be peeling for quite some time afterwards. So it might not be the best idea to do this just before I leave and have to go on like so many planes. But I've got my heart set on doing this foot peel now. I'm doing it. I've never had one of these before. I'm so excited. This will definitely jolt me awake because it feels cold. So I feel like it'll be fine. I do want to say you're welcome in advance for the free foot content. Oh shit, I need scissors. I am fighting for my life here. I've got just under 4 hours to go and I'm struggling. I did finish We Used to Live Here and I'm going to give it a 3.5. I did very much like it, but it felt a little disjointed, which I feel like was intentional. It is disjointed. That felt intentional. So I can't really fault it too much if that was like a stylistic choice from the author. And that's fine. I don't think it was the best book to read. Like 20 hours into a staying up for 24 hours straight challenge. Probably should keep the weird and strange books for a different time. So I probably shot myself in the foot there with that one. But it was still good. Like, I liked the character, like the main character quite a bit. And I found the main situation that she was in to be very hopeless. And I could feel that. Like, the writer's so good at, like, conveying those emotions to me. And as I was getting, like, a little bit different, a little bit stranger, I started to feel myself getting a little bit detached from the story. Still very good. Don't get me wrong, still very good. But I think I prefer, like, the opening and, like, maybe the first, like, third of the book. Just because there was that unsettling feeling that was still, like, very much grounded in what I could understand. I don't think I'm making any sense right now. I am so tired. But this is great. This is great because I feel like when I go to sleep tonight, I will have fixed my sleep pattern like 4 days before I go to Australia, where the time zone is totally different to me. But hey, that's 3 books down, 4 hours to go. Okay, I've decided to take us on a little adventure, a little excursion this morning. Although I'm kind of scared because, like, it's kind of steep and there's so many leaves on the floor. It's quite dangerous. I could literally break my neck right now. I'm trying not to slip. But yeah, I thought I would take us to Costa this morning so that we could have some breakfast, you and I, some coffee, really rejuvenate us in the last, like, 4 hours of this challenge. Just checking there's no one behind me. Oh god. Look, if anyone finds this footage after I've just slipped and broken my neck, please tell my parents I love them. I think the worst of it's over. I think the worst of it's over. Okay. Oh no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Why did I decide to come this way? But anyway, I'm so hungry. I'm starving. I brought A House with Good Bones. I know this was not the one that I said was like one of the most recommended. It was recommended in the Instagram story, but it wasn't the most recommended. It was the shortest one. It was the shortest one out of the two Kingfishers, and I need something shortish if I'm going to try and finish this before this challenge finishes. So I brought that. Say hello to the fountain. Hi, Mr. Fountain. Ooh, I almost didn't catch it, but 24 hours! It is 1:30 p.m. the next day, Saturday the 19th of October. I'm sorry, a little too high, I didn't realise. I have finished my 24-hour challenge. I have been awake for longer than 24 hours, but I have been reading pretty much non-stop for 24 hours now. And I did make a good start on House of Good Bones by T. Kingfisher, but I didn't get that far into it. I only got to page 79, so I haven't managed to finish my fourth book in this video. I genuinely thought I would read more, but I do feel like I've slowed right down after this month. And I'm liking this book so far. I'm loving the atmosphere. I've only ever read two T. Kingfisher books before. I've read The Raven and the Reindeer, and I have read A Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking, and I only read that one more recently. I don't know why, I forgot. But I've not read like any of the more recent T. Kingfisher books, and so I was very excited to start this, and I can really feel the atmosphere already. I'm very invested in Samantha's story. So Samantha has gone to like live with her mum for a bit, and it's the house that, you know, she was there for her childhood. Her grandmother used to own the house, and her mum seems to be like a little bit different, but like in very subtle ways. And it's a little bit strange, and I'm very interested to say like why and what is going on there, because I genuinely have no clue. I have no idea what's going on so far. And the story is still so very early on that I really can't like make too much of a review on like the plot or anything. I'm liking Samantha as a character. I think she has spunk. I think she's got spunk. I do like her internal monologue. This is first person, and I like getting her thoughts on things. I think she can be very funny, very witty. Really like to see the relationship with the mother, and I hope to see it develop. Nothing really creepy has happened or anything just yet, or scary, and I don't know if this is more like a slow burn gothic, kind of more atmospheric read, or if it's like an outright horror or anything. Like, I know next to nothing about this book, but I'm hoping to get this finished potentially tonight. I do have my mummy movie marathon in 2.5 hours, so I might maybe sneak in a nap. But I feel so much better now. Like, I had such a slump, I think around about like 5 a.m. to like maybe 10 a.m. I was feeling really, really tired. And I think the walk down the Costa and getting out in the fresh air, having a little bit of a fresh breeze on my face and on my fanny, just like really woke me up, and I feel reinvigorated now. Like, I feel like I could take on another 24 hours. I'm kidding. I genuinely could not. My brain is turning to mush. Like, I am awake, but I can't think, you know? Like, I can't string a sentence all that well in my brain. I'm actually very surprised that I'm making sense as I'm speaking right now. Oh, and I don't know if you've seen, but I did get one of those stamp things, you know, where you can like stamp your book at the very start. I show this off in my Raven Cycle vlog that's coming in November, but it does have like this kind of seal on it. And I mean, there are stickers I could do, but I've got like the one where it presses on like the front page. I'll put a link in the description box if you want to get one yourself. And if I forget, please do remind me on. But I'm only going to stamp books that I've read and I know I'm going to keep. And there was like this idea of like me doing like a stamp or pass kind of series. A little bit like in the same vein as Becca's Shelve It or Scrap It. But I feel like so many people are doing that series at the minute on YouTube that I don't want to oversaturate it. But it could be an idea in the future where I like stamp or pass. Or what were the other ideas actually? There was also stamp it or sling it, stamp or pass, mark it or market it, emboss or toss, stamp or scrap. But I don't know, like the stamp or pass one, it's just like, that one stuck with me. But like, I don't think I'm going to do that series like anytime soon. But hey, if you like the idea of that, why not? So I'm going to stamp Horn of Hill House, my first book read in this video, because I enjoyed it and I'm definitely going to keep it. So stamp it. There it is, from the Library of Gavin Hetherington. That is going to be staying in my book forever and ever. And so in 100 years time, when my collection is uncovered and it's unearthed by archaeologists, they will see my books and they'll be like, oh, that's the Gavin stamp. He stamped it and he didn't pass it. Also the Haar, which I really enjoyed as well. Let's give this one a stamp. The Haar. I didn't do as good a job on this one, but that's fine. I stamped it. House of Good Bones, I haven't finished, but I'm definitely going to keep it. It can be a little tricky because it's like a little bit heavy. And there is the stamp. And now my Kindle. I'm kidding. So I finished 3 books and started my 4th. I think I did pretty okay with that. I'm kind of happy with that progress. And yeah, I thought this was like a really cool 24 hours. I love staying up late. I really do. I love being up during like the witching hour when everyone else is in bed and asleep. And it just feels so magical in a way. So this was my final vlog in my Vlogs of Halloween 2024. I really do hope you enjoyed all of the videos in my Vlogs of Halloween. So I will leave a playlist down below for all of the other videos if you've missed them. As well as like some other like spooky videos if you want to catch up on some more like Halloween-esque content on my channel or anything kind of scary, or when I read horror and thrillers and mysteries and stuff. That playlist will be down below too. And I cannot wait to do another Vlogs of Halloween run next year. I cannot believe another Vlogs of Halloween is finished. That is year 3. Year 3 of my Vlogs of Halloween. Let's get excited for year 4. I already cannot wait. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to leave this video a like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave all the comments down below. Let me know if you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you've read any of the books that I've read in this video. Let me know if you have any more recommendations for me or anything like that. I would love to hear from you. Let's chat in the comments. I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons for supporting my channel. If you'd like to join my Patreon, then the link is in the description box. But yeah, I hope I will see you in the next video. Bye.